Part 105. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1042. Chapter 1042 S-level bounty mission, Kill Hydra. Everyone knows that Dr. Su lives here, no matter what difficult and complicated diseases you have. When you come to Dr. Su, as long as you have enough money, there is no disease that cannot be cured by the medicine. And no matter what their purpose was, everyone was very enthusiastic and fawning over Suchen. Suchen nodded casually and drove directly to the restaurant outside. Well, eat. It's really eating. Of course, there are tasks to be done. Eat and do tasks at the same time. Suchen is currently only 10 kilometers away from his home. 4399 The Mina is left at home. Now this guy's radar skill has been improved. Suchen was no longer willing to take this slightly bigger guy with him. Throw it directly at home. You can also gain a control range of 1 million meters for your battle pet. On his body, he carried dozens of S-class battle pets in his pockets. Of course, this includes 9527, a veteran battle pet. The true combat power of SS level cannot be left behind. When it comes to difficult tasks, Suchen has to rely on this guy to take action. The mission Suchen is currently undertaking is S-level bounty mission, Kill Hydra. The reward amount is 1.5 billion. The reason why I didn't do that S-level bounty mission, defeat Weak Shui first. It's because the reward amount for this mission is only 1 billion, and it seems to be less difficult than Hydra's. But Suchen judged that the strength of this weak water was probably higher than that of Hydra. If not above him, then at least on the same level. Based on this comparison, why not do a Hydra mission with lower difficulty and higher amount of money? The so-called Hydra is actually the code name of a veteran S-class killer. After a killer reaches level S, he will habitually be given some code names by others or himself. These code names have a referential role. For example, this S-class killer codenamed Hydra means that this guy is as good at saving lives as Hydra. It takes cutting off his 9 heads to kill him completely. The implication is that this guy is difficult to kill. But this also shows that this guy's combat ability, that is, his offensive ability, may not be too high. In other words, the life-saving skills are stronger. So Suchen was the first to do this task. After all, persimmons always have to be pinched softly. This Hydra killer is currently in a small foreign city about 700 kilometers away from Suchen's location. Suchen's current battle pet control range is 1000 kilometers. So he doesn't plan to go abroad for this mission. Instead, let 9527 lead 10 S-class 9527 series battle pets to kill the enemy 700 kilometers away. Because they have all evolved to S level. Therefore, the flight speed far exceeded the previous A-level speed of more than 100 kilometers per hour. It is already comparable to an airplane, traveling at a speed of 500 kilometers per hour. This distance of 700 kilometers is just over an hour for these 11 battle pets. As for Suchen, from the moment he set out, he sent these 11 battle pets abroad. By the time he drove to the restaurant half an hour later, his battle pet had traveled more than 200 kilometers. Then we waited another 20 minutes for the food to arrive. The battle pet has escaped the national border. Then when Suchen was full of wine and food, he lit a cigarette and sat down to rest. These 11 battle pets just arrived in the small city where Hydra is located. 11 battle pets the same size as mosquitoes were flying at high altitude in the dim dusk. No one can find out. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1043. Chapter 1043, Play steadily, from easy to difficult. Only S-class killers like Hydra can vaguely sense the coming crisis by virtue of their super crisis sensing. But I don't know what this crisis actually represents. At this time, Hydra was also eating in the restaurant. Although he knew that he had been hung up on the bounty mission platform. But because of his absolute confidence in his own strength, he didn't care. Instead, he was very interested in the S-class killer who might come to kill him. For Hydra, being able to fight opponents of the same level is very exciting, and it is also an opportunity to further improve one's combat power. Therefore, when he sensed a crisis coming, Hydra not only did not panic. Instead, he walked out of the restaurant carelessly and came to a nearby rooftop with a wide view. Want to kill me? Hee, let's see if you have the qualifications. However, when this Hydra just took out his weapon, he hadn't finished speaking yet. The ferocious smile on his face has not yet fully bloomed. 9527 already brought 10 S-class battle pets and directly launched a fatal attack on him. This battle was very short. It only lasts for a moment. Ordinary people can't even feel it. In just a split second, 9527 exploded his brain before Hydra could sense it. Then the other 10 9527 series battle pets penetrated directly through various fatal parts of his body. When 9527 returns with 10 battle pets, the Hydra suddenly fell to the ground. And his expression actually still maintained a ferocious smile. It is enough to show how strong this S-class battle pet team sent by Suchen is. I actually completed the mission so easily. It seems that I still underestimated the strength of my battle pet. Before Suchen took 2 puffs from a cigarette, he was shocked to find that the battle was over. It felt a bit boring for a moment. This also made him suddenly a little impulsive, wanting to try the number 1 mission with a bounty of over 10 billion. It's better not to get too arrogant first, proceed steadily, from easy to difficult, slowly test out the true combat power level of the battle pets, and finally evaluate whether to take on the 3 most difficult tasks. And while Suchen was eating, do not know when, a middle-aged man with a big belly and several bodyguards in black suddenly rushed in front of him. Just when Suchen was about to use his battle pet to kill the opponent instantly. Unexpectedly, this middle-aged man with a big belly and several bodyguards behind him suddenly knelt down, crying, "Dr. Suk! Dr. Suk! Save me, save me! I really can't grab the opportunity to practice medicine in your auction house, but I have the money. I can afford 300 million. But I just can't get it. Dr. Suk, I have terminal cancer. The doctor said I have only a few days to live. But I really can't bear to throw away my great youth and my huge fortune." Suchen was also speechless. When you are paralyzed and have a meal, there are still people like this coming to ask for help. This made the surrounding diners look over in surprise. Fortunately, this is a top-notch restaurant among high-end restaurants, and those who eat here are all rich or noble people. So when I saw this incident, I didn't make any noise. But when everyone heard this middle-aged man calling Suchen Miracle Dr. Su, everyone was shocked. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1044. Chapter 1044. It is not illegal for me to kill someone. For ordinary people, they would probably regard this as a joke for filming a video and acting, just to see the fun. But these people all have more or less special channels for information. Therefore, we also know the existence of Miracle Dr. Su. Now I heard that Suchen was Dr. Su, I was really shocked. Unexpectedly, Dr. Su, who attracted the world's richest people and fawned over him, would be so young. Too young and handsome. It would be great if I could be his girlfriend. What are you thinking? A handsome man like Dr. Su is rich, powerful, and talented. If he is not a super beauty who shocked the world, I guess no one can be worthy of him. Damn it! I also have a serious chronic disease, should I also go forward and beg Dr. Su to save me? What a rare opportunity. Suchen looked at the middle-aged man kneeling in front of him with tears in his eyes and was speechless. Not to mention that he has used up all 10 healing needles today. If this middle-aged man is given a treatment opportunity here, there will be one less person in the auction tomorrow. This is not good for his business integrity. Well, the main reason is that this middle-aged pot-bellied man has nothing to do with him. You can give me 300 million, and so can others, so what's the difference? Not to mention breaking my rules. At that moment, Suchen said indifferently, "Get out." The middle-aged man's figure was shaken. Looking at Suchen, his eyes were extremely pleading. He actually wanted to persist a little longer. After all, when he was doing business in the past, he would usually get orders by being more persistent and trickier than others. Suchen didn't want such a guy to affect his appetite. He added another sentence, "You should know that to a certain extent, it is not illegal for me to kill people." After saying this, the middle-aged man trembled wildly again. He was completely desperate. Suchen's words were very clear. Given his status as divine Dr. Su, even if he were killed on the spot, no one would catch him. He would even do everything possible to protect him from the miracle Dr. Su. Because the world's richest people need Dr. Su to treat their illnesses and save their lives. To protect the miracle Dr. Su is to protect themselves. Even the middle-aged man continued to think deeply. If he continues to be so unrelenting, he will make Dr. Su unhappy. There is no need for divine Dr. Su to do anything. I think if other rich people knew about it, they would be very happy to fix themselves for divine Dr. Su. The middle-aged man has been in the business world for decades and is very aware of the methods of those rich people. When the time comes, let alone your own life, I'm afraid even your family will suffer. When he thought about it clearly, the middle-aged man suddenly felt excited all over. Go, 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 no, get out, get out, get out. I'm leaving now. The middle-aged man quickly rolled out with several bodyguards. He was afraid of offending Suchen. After seeing this situation, other onlookers around him immediately gave up their plans to seek treatment from Suchen. But at the same time, they looked at Suchen with more and more awe. After all, to a certain extent, Suchen was equivalent to a god to them. A god who could control their life and death. Half an hour later, Suchen was full of wine and food. He called the waiter to pay the bill. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1045. Chapter 1045 Black Gold VIP. He is equivalent to a national treasure. Unexpectedly, this pretty waitress bowed to Suchen with great respect. Mr. Su, you have automatically obtained the most distinguished Black Gold VIP in our restaurant. As long as you dine in our restaurant, you do not need to pay anything. And you are eligible to dine anywhere in the restaurant without making a reservation. Hearing what the waiter said, Suchen nodded lightly. It must have been the restaurant owner who knew his identity and made special arrangements. Someone rushed to give him a discount, and Suchen would not refuse it pretentiously. He just nodded and left the restaurant. For Suchen, this incident was just a small episode, and he forgot about it after a few minutes. But for the upper class of the entire first-tier city, but it was like dropping a depth charge on calm water. All the well-informed upper-class people mysteriously spread this restaurant anecdote to each other. Do you understand? Just an hour ago, Dr. Su appeared 10 meters away from me. Oh my God. Dr. Su turns out to be so young and handsome. I really like. Awesome. Everyone in our family must remember this face and this person. If anyone dares to provoke him, don't say I can't save you. Even if I can save you, I will drive you out of the house. In the future, we must not imitate that fat man, otherwise we will offend divine Dr. Su and weep endlessly. he will look down on that little money. To be an enemy of divine Dr. Su is to be an enemy to the richest people in the world. Therefore, from now on, our group will respect and worship divine Dr. Su as if he were a god. In fact, the most shocked one was the police station that had just received the news. Especially Captain Zhou Yuanshan. What? Is he now the world-famous Dr. Su? Can even terminal cancer be brought back to life? When Zhou Yuanshan and the criminal investigation captain heard the news, they were so shocked that their eyes almost popped out. Their faces were full of disbelief. But the staff told them clearly this is absolutely true. At the World Medical Exchange Conference, it was recognized by global medical experts, including our domestic medical scholars. Medical scholars from various countries suggested that Dr. Su should be given the corresponding status and honor, not to disturb him, and that he should be given some privileges. After all, the miraculous medical skills of Dr. Su may represent the future direction of global medical technology. He is equivalent to a national treasure. No, it is the treasure of the world. Zhou Yuanshan and others were shaken wildly. Soon, they thought of something. So that means we can't even move him. The criminal investigation captain also thought about it and said with a stern face, I'm afraid if you don't touch him, you probably won't even be able to investigate, let alone monitor him. Zhou Yuanshan pondered for a while and said the current surveillance is useless. Judging from the current whereabouts of the other party, he has obviously gone out to do several missions, but we have not been able to capture that mysterious gray shadow from any surveillance cameras. This shows that the other party has improved its mission methods to a level that we cannot capture or even understand. Why not? Let's withdraw the surveillance personnel first, lest the superiors ask questions and we will be punished. After all, Su Chen is not what he used to be. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1046. Chapter 1046 S-Level Bounty Mission, Kill Ghost Old 7. The criminal investigation captain felt that Zhou Yuanshan's analysis was reasonable. Immediately call the surveillance personnel to come back. After all, surveillance is useless now, ever since Su Chen moved into a top-level community. Surveillance personnel cannot enter the community at all, let alone monitor it. In addition, Su Chen's current battle pet is either A-level or S-level, which cannot be captured by ordinary monitoring equipment. Therefore, the current investigation of Su Chen by Zhou Yuanshan and others has reached a dead end. We can only try to find new evidence by studying some previous surveillance videos. But this path is basically impossible. When Zhou Yuanshan's disciples heard the news, they were probably a little happy for Su Chen. After all, he had always treated Su Chen with a friendly attitude. But Su Chen's reaching his current status really shocked him. After all, more than 10 days ago, Su Chen was just a freshman, and the house he rented was just a small, dilapidated rental house. Just a few days later, Su Chen had moved into the most upscale community in a first-tier city. I heard that a single-family villa cost him at least 300 million. Not to mention, it is recognized by medical masters around the world. He is regarded as a miracle doctor by the world's richest people and flocks to him. It is even said that he made a lot of money every day and only treated 10 people a day, and the one with the highest price got it. The income earned in one day is as much as billions. I had already thought highly of you before, but I didn't expect that you would reach a level that I couldn't even imagine. Su Chen, what kind of secret do you have? What is it that brought you to where you are now? Zhou Yuanshan's apprentice stood in the corner, smoking a cigarette, looking at the night outside the window, and said secretly in his heart. Of course, Su Chen himself didn't know these things. Even if he knew, he wouldn't care. After all, he has reached this position now, already possessed this strength. No matter how many people paid attention and were shocked, he could not shake his plan. The next day, Suchen began to complete the S-level bounty mission, Kill Ghost Lao Chi. The goal of this mission was to an S-class killer who is slightly stronger than Hydra. His main skills are ghostly body skills and leg skills. He is similar to the Ghost Foot 7 in the Once Upon a Time movie, so he was given the code name Gui Lao Chi. Unexpectedly, Gui Lao Chi himself recognized him. So this code name has been used ever since. This person is currently in Tyrande. Tyrande is a full 1,200 kilometers away from Suchen. Beyond the maximum range that he could control his battle pet. Firstly, Suchen didn't want to go abroad, and secondly, he had to complete this task. Although it was a bit difficult, Suchen felt that there was still a compromise. For example, he took the high-speed rail to go the distance the closest domestic city in Tyrande. I checked on the map and found that the closest domestic city to Tyrande is Tianese City. Tianese City is about 900 kilometers away from Gui Laokai. Of course, this is a straight line distance. Although the margin is only 100 kilometers, it should be enough. After all, the system prompts that this guy is not moving at high speed. Thinking of this, Suchen first released 9527, and took 10 other 9527 series battle pets with it. Then he took the high-speed train that day and set off directly to Tianese City. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1047. Chapter 1047 Fatal Weakness. A strong instant kill. When he arrived in Tianese City, an hour and a half had passed. Here 9527 they just arrived in Tyrande. There is only more than 100 kilometers away from Gui Laokai. Suchen immediately took a taxi and headed to the nearest resort hotel. And ordered a meal. I went to the hotel to wash up and then went out for a walk. While Suchen was strolling around, 9527 they had arrived at the target location. And this target, Gui Lao Chi, was actually doing something indescribable in the hotel. When Suchen saw the real-time battle situation of Gui Laokai through the perspective of 9527, it can only be said that this guy does not have the sense of danger of an S-class killer at all. This also made Suchen very curious. Is this Ghost Old 7 an S-class killer? According to the mission target information, Gui Laokai should be a veteran killer who advanced to become an S-level killer 10 years ago. Unexpectedly, after he sent 9527 and so on, there were a total of 11 S-level pets. In the process of killing him, there was no sense of crisis at all. This also made Suchen very curious. But curiosity is curiosity. Since the mission target is so easy to kill, he will not hesitate to give the order directly. 9527 a total of 11 battle pets executed the kill order for Gui Lao Chi. Soon Gui Lao Chi threw himself on the bed. The woman under him thought that the other party was finished. The target was successfully killed, and it came out. It was unexpectedly easy. Suchen immediately ordered 9527 to lead 10 S-class pets to return immediately. In fact, what Suchen didn't know, and what even the bounty mission platform didn't know, was that Gui Laokai, the S-class the killer's true combat power is indeed very strong, and he has not lost his reputation. But Gui Lao Chi also has a fatal weakness. Gui Lao Chi himself knows this weakness, so he has never exposed it to outsiders. Therefore, Suchen and the bounty he didn't even know the mission platform. Gui Laokai himself was also cautious. Once he sensed a crisis, he would be careful to avoid exposing his weaknesses. But today, he never expected that there would be killers like Suchen who could use mosquitoes like the insects were killing him nearly 1,000 kilometers away. So, when he finally couldn't hold it in anymore and went to find a woman, This excitement completely covered up his S-level crisis perception. And this was his fatal weakness. Originally, he planned to kill him quickly. But he didn't expect that Suchen's kill came so coincidentally. It was the only time his weakness was exposed this month that he attacked. Then, a generation of veterans, the first-level killer was killed silently by Suchen, as simple and cowardly as killing a chicken and a dog. Soon, a crisp system prompt sounded from Suchen's side. Ding! Congratulations on successfully completing S-level bounty mission, Kill Gui Laokai. Your evaluation for this task is perfect. Ding! Congratulations on getting the task score, 50 points. Ding! Congratulations on winning the mission reward amount, 2 billion. Ding! Because you completed this task perfectly, you will receive an additional reward, 600 million. All of a sudden, Suchen had another 2.6 billion in his hand. Counting today's income of more than 5 billion. In total, he transferred a total of 8 billion on this day. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1048. Chapter 1048 Save 111 billion. Space debris. From this point of view, it is no problem for me to accumulate 100 billion before the killer competition. Before the start of the killer competition, Suchen naturally wanted to evolve all his 200 battle pets to S level. But he also wanted to save some funds for the subsequent evolution of his battle pets to SS level. Because Suchen, there is always a hunch that during the process of participating in the assassin competition, he may have the opportunity to evolve his battle pet from S level to SS level. So he needs to prepare for a rainy day. However, Suchen did not know that his battle pet evolved from S level to SS level. How much money is needed? Immediately, my heart moved, and I asked the system in my mind system, how much money is needed to continue to 100% evolve the S-level battle pet to the SS level? Report back to the host to 100% evolve the S-level battle pet to the SS level. Each evolution requires funds, 10 billion. I go. 10 billion. Suchen was shocked. One evolution requires 10 billion, so if he accumulates 1 billion, he can only evolve 10 battle pets. No. If a battle pet happens to have the strongest special mutation when it evolves, it will be directly worth 100 billion. Suchen was a little speechless. The 100 billion he saved seems to be only enough for one battle pet. The key point is that this is just the evolution from S level to SS level. If he evolves from SS level to SSS level, who knows? How much money will it cost? Poverty. I am really poor. Suchen was lying on the spacious balcony lounge chair of a single-family villa worth 300 million yuan, looking at the balance of tens of billions in his bank card, and sighed in his heart. It seems that I have a hard life. Suchen said to himself while drinking wine worth millions. You have to work hard every day to make money, otherwise, you won't even have the money to evolve your battle pet. The first thing is to save 111 billion. And this is just a reserve fund for a battle pet, which is to prevent the battle pet from suddenly undergoing the strongest special mutation, so that I can have enough funds to provide it with continued mutation. Otherwise, if the most powerful special mutation finally comes, but it is interrupted because he does not have enough funds, then he will not cry to death. You know, when the S level evolves to the SS level, if the strongest special mutation occurs, the combat power will be equivalent to the SSS level. This is the strength of a venerable level. The strongest in the world. From this perspective, 111 billion to exchange for a battle pet with the most powerful combat power in the world is really cheap and cost-effective. At my current rate of making money, minus the cost of evolving the next 100 A-level pets to S-level, plus the money I have earned from doing S-level tasks these days, if I want to make up 111 billion, I should no problem. Suchen made a mental calculation and planned to finish the glass of wine and go back to sleep. Unexpectedly, many light spots suddenly appeared in front of my eyes. No. This is not a point of light, but space debris. Suchen was suddenly shocked. He himself didn't know why he said the words space fragments. Then, countless memories and information suddenly poured into his mind. And the memories that originally belonged to himself were, this kind of strange memory, the crazy and domineering influx of information, was directly shattered. The next second, Suchen couldn't help but close his eyes. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1049. Chapter 1049 Successfully repaired the soul. Re-enter the new world. Fortunately, he was lying on a recliner, so he didn't fall. But the red wine glass in his hand slipped from his hand. However, what Suchen didn't see was the red wine glass that was supposed to be smashed to the ground turned into countless fragments and light spots in mid-air, and slowly disappeared into the air. Immediately afterwards, the recliner under him also changed like this. But Suchen's body was automatically suspended, standing in the air. The next second, he opened his eyes. Countless stars were flowing in his eyes instantly. What surges in his eyes is infinite wisdom, indifference to all life, and absolute confidence in his own strength. Very good, this flawed soul has finally been repaired successfully. Suchen moved his lips slightly and muttered to himself. And the small world he was in was gradually collapsing. Everything here, including his pet evolution system, including the bounty mission platform, including Zhang Yan, including Zhou Yuanshan, including everything, all turned into light spots and disappeared. After all, everything here is just one of the countless small worlds created by the Luotian girls in order to repair their souls. Return to Luotian and the other girls again. Small world. Suchen turned into a perfect thread of soul and returned to Suchen's body. The latter then separated out a ray of flawed soul and entered another new small world opened by Luo Shen. Husband, this small world is just like the big world you originally stayed in. It is a game world. Luo Shen suddenly laughed out loud. Suchen said softly, that's my old profession, husband. I believe it won't be long before I can get a fully repaired soul again. And that flawed soul, after entering the new small world, was immediately flooded with the memories that had been said. The next moment. Am I traveling through time? Suchen, who was transformed into a ray of soul, woke up from the bed. In front of his eyes, it was an ordinary room. The electric light on the ceiling above his head was a bit dazzling. Suchen closed his eyes and waited for a while to adjust before observing. He walked around. At this moment, the phone next to him vibrated. He picked up the phone habitually and clicked it. He found that it was a push advertisement. The Global Cave Survival game starts now. Do you want to start experiencing the game? Suchen crossed out the ad without even thinking about it. He was also planning to set up a blacklist. But what he didn't expect was that he had just touched it with his fingertips and hadn't started swiping yet. His whole vision suddenly went dark. And if there was another person next to him at this time, he would be horrified to find that Suchen seemed to be sucked into the mobile phone as if being sucked into a black hole. The next second, he had disappeared. Only the whole room was left. The mobile phone was on the bed. But at this time, the screen of the mobile phone was also black and it was automatically turned off. When Suchen Yu woke up and turned around, he suddenly found that he appeared in a small cave. Wait, cave. Suchen suddenly thought of the advertisement he had seen on his mobile phone before. And when he just clicked on the advertisement with his fingertips, he suddenly fainted. When he woke up, it was already here. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1050. Chapter 1050. Obtain the damaged level 0 Dongtian Paradise. Damn it. Just traveled through time, and continues to travel through time? Where the hell did this time travel to? Have you really traveled through time and space into that damn global cave survival game? Or does this game have some alien black technology that can transport real people into the game to play? But it's too overbearing to forcefully teleport people here without the player's permission. After Suchen complained, he began to realize that something seemed to be wrong around him. First, around his field of vision, some game interfaces similar to virtual reality appeared. On the left, there was a frame similar to a chat area. Click to go, it was found that there are local regional channels, world regional channels, etc. On the right, there are a series of attributes, task, backpack, pet, friends, settings, etc. Let me go, is this really a game? Suchen is also very familiar with games. After all, he has been a senior player of various games for 10 years in school. He tried them all immediately. He found that among the attributes, all his attributes were currently 1. The tasks were empty. The backpack was empty. The same for pets, the same for friends. In the settings, there is currently only a pain setting. From 5% to 200%. Suchen knew what this was for without having to think about it, and immediately set the pain to the lowest 5%. After all, he was not masochist. And in the chat channel, he found that he was not alone. There were actually many people who had the same experience as him. Damn it! I just clicked on an ad and it got sent here. This dream is so real. It hurts like hell when I pinch my hand. Who's going to get me out? I'm claustrophobic and I feel like I'm going to die. What game is this? That's awesome. I really want to play, but how to play? I go. There is something on the ground, a ball. What is it for? After seeing the words on the channel, Suchen quickly walked around on the ground. He also discovered that there was something under his feet. A small black ball the size of a fist, and a rusty shovel. What is this for? Newbie outfit. Suchen picked up the black ball and immediately heard a sound in his mind. This is the lowest level cave heaven paradise that is ownerless and damaged. You can recognize the owner with a drop of blood. Although it is dilapidated, it can at least let you sleep. Huh. Cave heaven paradise. Can it be used for sleeping? Suchen didn't wonder why the prompt sound appeared in his mind. After all, he had been playing games for 10 years, so he naturally accepted this kind of game prompt. He immediately followed the prompts and started dripping blood. Recognizes the Lord. Ding. Congratulations on successfully obtaining the damaged level 0 Dongtian Paradise. Suchen looked at the small black ball in his hand. Does this mean you recognize your master? How to use it? Just when this thought came to his mind, the prompt sounded again. If you think about it, it can be transformed into a ruined paradise. Thinking about putting it away, it can turn into a small black ball again. Hearing the prompt, Suchen nodded, indicating that he understood. Then a thought came to his mind. The black ball in his hand immediately rolled to the ground. With a crash, it turned into a cave made of accumulated soil. This cave looked too big. Shameful. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 1051. Chapter 1051. How dare this guy call him cave heaven paradise? The entire interior space of the cave is only 1 meter by 2 meters, and the height is only 1 meter. Just big enough for one person to get in and lie flat on his back. You have to be careful even when you sit up, for fear that your head will break through this earth-filled cave. How dare this guy call him cave heaven paradise? Suchen looked at this cave that he seemed to be able to break open with just one kick, his face filled with disbelief. This game is too stingy. Is this a gift for newbies at the start of the game? But complaints are complaints, after all, this is a novice outfit given by the system. If he doesn't use it, he still can't find a better substitute. Although the space inside looks like a coffin, it can still sleep, right? Instead of sleeping in here, it would be better to sleep outside. At least there's plenty of space. Just when Suchen had this thought in his mind, the prompt sounded again. The cave is not safe. Sleeping in the paradise of cave heaven can at least guarantee that you will not be attacked while sleeping. I go. Are there still attacks in the cave? Who attacks? Monster. Suchen was shocked and quickly asked a series of questions. But at this time, the system prompt did not sound. Damn, it seems that this game does not have an inventory prompt. It obviously needs to be improved. Well, when I go out, I will make suggestions to the game planner. Etc. Suchen suddenly thought of a very serious problem. How do I exit the game? The system prompt tone still didn't sound. Then Suchen looked around and couldn't find any button to exit the game. Depend on. This game is indeed a cheating and defective product, right? I didn't even quit the game. Do you want me to play it forever? Suchen started to feel a little worried when he thought that this game was called a global cave survival game. Survival game, what if I die here? Also, is my body playing tricks on my brain, or is my whole body playing tricks on me? If the whole person is playing, then if I die, wouldn't it be true death? This game is so boring. But complaining is complaining. Suchen honestly picked up the rusty shovel on the ground. Ding. You get shovel *1. Well, there are also system prompts. It seems that this is a game. Suchen confirmed again. He waved the shovel and found that it was quite solid. But, what do I need this shovel for? Is it used to fight monsters? Just when Suchen was confused, the system prompts the sound and he suddenly remembered it again at this time. The shovel is an indispensable tool in this game. It is a key item used to dig passages and go to the next cave. Suchen was surprised when he heard the notification sound. So this game is made up of different dungeons. And players obtain various resources by constantly digging caves? Yes, your understanding is correct. The prompt tone came back again. Suchen saw that the system prompts that he seemed to have woken up, so he asked the previous question again. So why doesn't this game have an exit button? However, Suchen was disappointed. The system prompt seems to be malfunctioning again. Suchen was silent.